Welcome to another Nowhere Man-Child review. This is Batman Black and White Compendium. This book came out here in the end of 2025. It collects Batman Black and White. The title is simple. The talent is spectacular. Collecting the complete Batman Black and White series and the Batman Gotham Knights and Batman the Brave and the Bold backups in one massive collection. So it shows that it features various talents here. You can look over some of the artists here. Maybe you see some of your favorites, some very notable people here. Neil Adams here, Michael Allred, Brian Bolland, Lee Bermejo, Gene Colan, Darwin Cook, rest in peace, Jose Luis Garcia Lopez, Dave Gibbons, Klaus Janson, Joelle Jones, Kelly Jones, Andy Kubert, Joe Kubert, Jim Lee, Mike Mignola, Frank Miller, Mobius. Maybe some of your favorites are here. Alex Ross, Bill Sienkiewicz, Bruce Timm, Lee Weeks, J.H. Williams III, Walter Simonson. And that barely covers the talent showcase within this volume. It's true. We're going to flip through it here for a few minutes and take a look at some of these things here. If you're on the fence or haven't considered looking at this before, it does retail at $59.99 in the USA. You can buy it at your local comic book shop. If they don't have it, get them to order it for you and get a copy there, or your favorite bookseller. But let's go ahead and take a look. For anybody who hasn't seen this before, this actually is by Lee Weeks, and this is by Mike Mignola on the spine there. It's got a very nice spine, so like you can flip it and you can enjoy all sorts of the stories here and not worry that the spine is going to get creased or goofed up here. Actually, I think it's really a really good shape. But yeah, going to start at the beginning here just to take a look so you can see a whole bunch of the folks that are listed within Batman Black and White here. Batman created, of course, by Bob Kane with Bill Finger. And then let's go over just some of the writers that you can see here with the artist teams here. So you can see Bruce Timm, Joe Kubert, Howard Chaykin, Archie Goodwin, Chuck Dixon, Neil Gaiman, Andrew Helfer, Bill Sienkiewicz, Denny O'Neil. Of course, we see a bunch of the different artists. We'll see them as we go through here. Brian Stelfreeze. You'll see different ones as we flip through. Ty Templeton, Chris Claremont of the X-Men, Kelly Puckett, Warren Ellis, John Byrne, Paul Levitz. If you're interested at all in Batman and the history of Batman, Alan Grant, Robert Kanigher, creator of Sergeant Rock. You will appreciate that they have a whole bunch of folks here. Harlan Ellison, Paul Dini. Whole bunch of folks that they were able to collect over the years, being able to do, as you can see with this page count in these, short stories. Dwayne McDuffie and Dennis Cowan together. Short stories that are done here in Batman Black and White. These were done off and on over the years, starting in the 90s. So there's different teams that you would see in the 90s and then into the 2000s. So different folks that were here that were able to do maybe just one story, written and illustrated by Neil Adams right there, Batman Zombie. Michael Uslan, the boy who loved Batman, producer of Batman 1989. So yeah, you will see Marv Wolfman. There's a whole bunch of folks in here, and if you are interested, as I say, in Batman, there's going to be stories here that you're going to care about. There's going to be different artists and things you might not prefer as much. But considering the bulk of the work that is collected here, I think you're going to be in really good shape. And you're going to discover some new favorites. There's folks here that I'd never heard of and people I'd not seen before. And there's people that I was big favorites of since I was a kid or as a teenager. And seeing a short story here that I had never seen before. I had not collected the Batman Black and White runs when they came out. When they were starting in the 90s, I was trailing out of comics as I got into college. But over the years, I've gone back and discovered different things and picked up various books. I never got the collections of Batman Black and White, but I'm glad that I was able to wait for this one. So we'll just do some random flips here. You'll be able to see that's a fantastic Two-Face story by Bruce Timm. Joe Kubert doing great Batman story here. Howard Chaykin. So I won't be naming all the artists here as we flip through, but I'll just give you a taste, just a flavor if you've not seen these before or hadn't been interested because it's black and white and you just think it's too simplistic, I think you will love it. If you are an artist and you want to study different art styles and different storytelling methods, this is a fantastic way to self-study for that as well, and to be able to get different hints of how different creators care for Batman and what they want to put on the page. What are the stories that they're telling, whether they're a writer, whether they're an artist. I fell into loving film noir, really thanks to Batman the Animated Series, and then getting into the classic noir period films of the 40s and 50s. This is Brian Bolland's style. And just being able to appreciate Batman black and white. Like, for me, it happened after I fell in love with film noir and began to love that style. And seeing just the grittiness, but the beauty that's here. This is Alex Ross paintings here. Film noir with the diverse images that are done in black and white really can give you such a fantastic style that you can't get with color the same way. There's just something different about how different stories can be told, whether it's on film or whether it's in print. And there's the gritty realism of film noir, the chiaroscuro of black and white, contrast together. Just the fact that you can get stories from the underworld, from the criminal element, from the police, from the detectives, from just the ne'er-do-wells and the underbelly of society and the people who are falling on the wrong side of the tracks in the world, and people who are struggling to get up and above, and those people who sometimes find themselves on the wrong side of the law or make the wrong choices, and maybe they don't end up in the right piece at the end of the story. Film noir doesn't always have happy endings, and some of these Batman tales here in black and white are definitely a part of that. If you're interested in film noir at all, definitely Batman the Animated Series has a number of film noir tales that you can check out, and the styles there. I think A Bullet for Bullock is very much like a film noir tale. I mean, it focuses on Harvey Bullock with Batman as a supporting player trying to help, someone from the police. Okay, so here's black and white and red. So there's a red splash. But it's emblematic of some film noir, as I Am the Knight in particular is one as well, about the core of Batman, who he is and what he's all about. But yeah, as far as film noir itself, I mean, if you've heard of Maltese Falcon, Double Indemnity, so many things from the 40s and 50s in particular, from the core time of film noir, really starting because of German Expressionism in film and the influx of so many creators that came over from Europe to avoid the growing fascism that was there, that began and became World War II, came over here and influenced so much film and so much artistry. And we can see that in different ways here with just the way that these stories are told, and just the sense that, it is good and evil there on the page, and there are lots of grays in between, sometimes literally, but there's so much of morality and human interest of why choices are made and who makes those choices, and what befalls those people. Why does this person have something positive and this person does not? And Batman deals with folks in that realm all the time, whether they become a villain or whether they're someone who he rescues and they become an ally to him, or he never sees them again and they just live with that memory of how that they were influenced and shaped and encountered Batman. We all have that in our lives in different levels of how we've been influenced and impact others. And I'm going on now, but getting towards the back here, actually, we will get to the conclusion of the art here, and we will get to the cover gallery. That's a dynamic picture right there with the flashlight. But they do have a cover gallery in the back here where you can actually see the collection of covers that were done for Batman Black and White. And here, starting with the table of contents here, as you can see from Black and White. Number one started in 1996. And as the series was stopping and going, and it would come back in short stints, And you can see the different times and the different runs, the different artists listed here for things that we have collected in the back here. And perhaps if I'm going too fast, just pause the video and take a look. There you can see a Jim Lee cover, and he would soon do Hush for Batman just a few years later. Frank Miller. Bunch of beautiful, beautiful covers for a bunch of beautiful art inside. If you're interested further in film noir, I actually suggest you check out the Film Noir Foundation, which actually goes to rescue films and make them prepared for us and for generations beyond us. And we can have a continued appreciation of the art that was made and the art that can live forever, the same way that we have for this book and for other comic books and other great art. So there's just a bit of a tease for you here, a long tease, but a tease for this book of Batman Black and White. How big is it? That's a good question. Well, one person that's not in this book that they didn't get at the time was Norm Brayfogle, but here we can see that the Batman Compendium is just about the same size as the two Legends of the Dark Knight Norm Brayfogle collections. Also, it is just about the same height as Batman the Animated Series, Volume 2 and Volume 3 on CD soundtrack. It is not quite, however, as big as the Batman Complete Television Series by Adam West on Blu-ray. But if you get yourself this Batman Black and White Compendium, I think you're going to have a lot of wonderful, wonderful times in reading it and appreciating the art. So until next time, take care of yourselves. Be good to one another. From Nowhere Man Child.